better get going and fast!
Alright, for the first move Sonic has, it's called Drop Dash, and it's a stun. It's the sentinel part of Sonic. What it's gonna do, you're gonna use it, and it's gonna make you pop up and then down, and you're gonna become a ball that moves swiftly and way faster than the EXE. This stun is hard to land. Why? Because you have to land it multiple times. It's not that you land it once and then the stun is there. You gotta land it 3 times. Once you knock the EXE with the ball, it's gonna knock you back, and then you just gotta go back to the EXE like this. See? That drop dash works. Okay, so for how long does drop dash stun? It depends on the amount of bops you do on the EXE. If you do one, it's gonna be 1 second. If you do two, it's gonna be 2 to 3 seconds. And if you do the full of them, the entire duration counting the first bump up to the stun of the third one post stun, it's gonna be 5 seconds in total. Now, it's gonna be a 24-second cooldown from 24 to 26 cooldown after you're done drop dashing. And now the EXE will run forward, and now you'll see how fast the drop dash really is. It lasts for 8 seconds, and you can use it to run away like this. Another property of the drop dash is that you're immune to all kinds of damage. So you're immune to charge, you're immune to M1, you're immune to God's trickery. Even if you fail the minigame while you're drop dashing, it's gonna give you iframes and you're not gonna get hit. The only thing that can hit you in 0.1 at least is the fire from Green Hill. But now, how do you land the drop dash? Because the EXEs are not just gonna stand still and try to get stunned unless they really need rage. First, we're gonna be stunning the EXE in your own chase. The most effective method to do this is called late drop dashing. So what you're gonna do is run. Let's say that you're running a straight line and the EXE is trying to hit you. You do this, you jump and change directions, and then you hold your movement key to the front. That's gonna surprise the EXE because when you jump and you hit the ground, the drop dash startup is way faster. You hit the EXE twice, you don't hit him thrice, and you run away for the rest of the duration. That's how you late drop dash. Take into account that EXEs are experienced with this, and most of them will go in this when you do that. But late drop dashing is the best way to try and catch them off guard in your own chase. So late drop dashing is your main tool when you're trying to avoid getting hit yourself. But how do you avoid someone else's chase? The first thing will be cutting off someone off of a Nimbus snipe. Sweaty EXEs are always going to do this, so you need to know how to save someone right away from an Nimbus snipe. So the EXE is going to try sniping tails, and what you're going to do is drop dash when you see it coming. That's not quite an Nimbus snipe, but the EXE is going to walk straight into your face. And you know, Imba snipes always work from a straight line if it's not from above. So Tails is gonna walk in a straight line. You gotta walk in front, and the EXE is gonna come right from here. You're gonna jump and dash. If you do it quickly, if you react, if you have a gut feeling for Imba sniping that you eventually get when you suffer it too much, you can immediately stop the EXE on its tracks. So, what if the survivor is already on chase? What if you're not constantly following them to avoid the snipe? So, what you want to do is intersect the pathing of the EXE from an angle, mostly from diagonal, and try to use drop dash from a point where they can't hear you. The audio's always gonna play, it's always gonna be hearable, but the EXE may be too desperate on trying to kill the survivor and they're not gonna hear you. So here's an example. The chase once they're in chase, you're gonna do this and you're gonna intercept the EXE right in the chase. Like that. And the tails has time to run away. Okay, so what if the EXE actually hears or sees you? They're just not gonna let you cut the chase for free, won't they? So what most EXEs will do is jump over it. They're gonna jump over your drop dash, and since they're chasing someone, they're gonna keep running a straight line after jumping. What you want to do is intersect. You're gonna predict this, and you're gonna intersect the EXE in the air. Now, when you pop in the air, you can knock back further. You can knock back more, and it's also really ping based because the higher your ping, the more you're gonna get knocked back. So that means you may not be able to get all of the pops. By that I mean the second pop, but it's still a cheese code, and you still can get dodge beater mag from it. So we're gonna try here. I gonna drop dash, and the exit will jump on my P-round, and as you can see, that's an intersect in the air. That's how you counter it when they're trying to jump over you. Now, if they're jumping in a circle, if they're doing this, don't bother. Don't bother. Just keep going. They're not gonna chase a survivor in a circle anyway. So if they're doing that, don't try stunning. Don't just play around the cat and mouse with drop dash. Just run away. Use it to run away if you can't stun. Okay, now some people may be asking, when do I know if I should do more than one bob or more than two or the full three? You're only gonna do the three bobs if you're giving someone time. If you're buying a survivor time, if you're stunning the EXE out of a chase, then you're gonna get to your three bobs. But if you're alone, what you're gonna do is bob the EXE twice and then run away. Change directions and use that time to run away. Bobbing once is also cool. It's fair for LMS. We're gonna talk about that later. But doing it twice is gonna buy you some more dodge, and eventually you're gonna get two hits on it. Okay, now one useful thing that you can do with drop dash is avoid a charge. One thing to note is that when you're charging, when the EX is charging at you and you're in drop dash form, your dodge meter will still drain. This is most likely a glitch. So never do this. Never drop dash after he starts charging, because as you can see, my dodge meter went from 8 to 0. So what you want to do is when you see the first tick, you're going to drop dash and try to cancel it off of him. If you don't manage to cancel, pass him, and then use all of the rest to run away and try not to get your dodge meter drained. So always be safe when you're trying to when they're trying to charge you. Always have drop dash ready. Remember that if you have 20 dodge meter or less, it's gonna grab you nonetheless. And if you have more than 20, it's gonna consume 20 of your dodge bar. Now, a tiny little useful tip is that when you're drop dashing and you hit a spring, you're gonna get lift up more. So you can do this and then get inside of the balcony right away. And it's just an example spot, but the springs are always gonna push you higher if you're using drop dash. And when you don't have drop dash, for example, in this spot, if you're lucky enough, it's gonna drop you off here on the stone part. With drop dash, it goes up to this part. So it's super useful, and try to use it in more cases to gain more distance and jump higher. Now, when you're running away with drop dash, never take super sharp turns or zigzag around. Because when you turn and drop dash, it reduces your mobility by a bunch and you're wasting your 8 seconds. So just do this and go in a straight line. Never, never do super sharp turns. At the same time, don't circle, just keep going straight up. If you have to take a shortcut, you can jump and drop dash. For example, if there's stairs or there's a part that's gonna slow you down, you can jump over it and you're gonna go faster. Always get the maximum amount of distance as you can from drop dash. So as Sonic, you're kinda helpless in Rage when it comes to helping other people, because if you don't have peel out, or the person that you're trying to help is Metal Sonic or Eggman, which Sonic absolutely can't lift because they're too heavy, you only have drop dash. And I talked about the tiring meter as Tails earlier and the other guy, but for Sonic it's a bit tighter because his stun is so short per pop that the EXE is gonna get up immediately. So you don't want to mostly come in and cut chase with pop. What you want to do is wait for the exit to charge and then use your bot to get out of the person out of the charge. That's the most useful thing you can use with drop dash when it comes to helping others. When it's for you, try to late drop dash once so you can get dodge meter back if you don't have any, so you can tank another hit. Now let's show you how quickly the EXE gets up when you pop that, and it gets up right away. See? So drop dashing in Rage is kind of helpless when it comes to helping other people.
I'm out of here!
Okay, for your second move, it's called Peel Out. What does this do? This puts you into a startup, a really long startup of 4 seconds that leaves you completely vulnerable. And then it speeds you up super high for around 8 seconds, the same duration of drop dash. You do this. It doesn't show it here, but it's 4 seconds. You go forward, and you go way faster than the EXE and drop dash. Once you're done, it slows you down and it puts you in a 40-second cooldown. Okay, one thing you should never do is start pilouting in front of the EXE, or if you're pilouting and the EXE catches you off guard, what the only resource you have is jumping. The EXE is gonna try hitting you and gonna jump over it. If you have dodge meter, when you get down to the hitbox, you're gonna get hit by for the dodge meter, of course. But if it's health, you can always jump and avoid getting hit. This works better in rage mode because the M1 cooldown is lower and heavier. But if you fumble and the EXE sees you peel outing or you peel out too close to him, your last resource is jumping. Some EXEs that have experience will also try immediately jumping over you because they're gonna predict that you're jumping. So it's like a tiny little mind game. But if this is super uncommon, so if the EXE is not really that experienced, just jump. All of them fall for the jump. The bad thing is it depends a lot on ping. It depends a lot on the game because the game just randomly sometimes decides to hit you anyway, and your timing, of course, your own timing. Another thing that you can do when you're about to get jumped by a pillar, it is safer if you jump down and pillar on a spring because you can do this. You do this and then you get bounced up. You can always jump on the duration of it, and it's just safer in general. It's a super small tip, but it's useful. If you have a spring, try using it. Okay, but so far I've only shown you how to peel out by yourself and how to do it safely. Now, the actual mechanic of peel out is that you can carry people with you. So this is super useful for cutting chase. That's why Sonic is a half sentinel and a half support. But one thing to know is that when you pick someone up, they can jump off the peel out, and your cooldown is gonna go to 40 seconds again. And if they jump off the peel out, don't go back to pick them because you can't pick them up back up. What's gonna happen a lot is that people won't see you, and they're just joking, so they're gonna jump off the peel out on accident, and they're gonna get punished for it. When you peel out someone, the EXE will most likely M1, so you need dodge meter for this. It's better, so you don't have to tank a whole HP hit. So now here's an example. You're gonna charge up the peel out, and you see little tails getting chased over here. You're gonna get him out of chase. Sometimes that's gonna happen. The survivor is gonna get hit because when you peel them out, they stop moving for around like half a second. It depends on lag too. So watch out for that, and they're most likely going to blame you. When you grab someone, do not make sharp turns and don't be unpredictable. Don't be predictable. I mean, because when you pick them up, and you're in a tight spot, the EXE can corner you, so you have to go over here, and they just move and hit you. Don't be predictable with peel out because you can get punished, and when you time it right, it's gonna be the best thing to get someone off of chase. You can also get grabbed in plout, so watch out. You can get charged at. It's super hard to do, but it can happen. And the person that's on you can't get grabbed when you're peel outing them. So you can get other people out of a charge, but you can get grabbed yourself. This always look for a slight tip. Always look for the white arrow when someone gets hit. Try to get as close to them and then peel out. Watch your distance and don't do it right away. Watch your distance and cut the survivor off of chase. Remember, when you have someone on top of you, the the cooldown of peel out is massively reduced to around 24 seconds, the same as Tails' glide. But if they jump off, it's gonna multiply to 4A. So watch out. Okay. Now for general tips about the peel out. Know that when you are carrying a survivor and you ram into another survivor, it's gonna swap them out. So it's gonna mess you up a lot that you're peel outing someone out of the chase, and then you just find a random survivor that was just walking innocently, and they're gonna swap out, and the survivor that you were rescuing will get punished. So always try to have a priority list. It doesn't matter who the player is; it's the survivor that matters the most. Unless they're useless, have a priority list for peel out. Always try peel out stuff like Green or Amy or survivors that are completely defenseless like Tails. For example, if someone gets down, the person that gets revived will have iframes so they can run away. Always peel out the person that revived the other one because they're gonna be vulnerable to the EXE. Now, one another thing to take note in is that if the survivor is low, when you peel out someone, they're still gonna be in danger because the EXE will most likely end this and then try to snipe them right after you finish your peel out. They're not fast enough to cut you off in your own tracks with Imbis while you're piloting, but after you're finished, you're gonna get sniped. Always have that into account and have drop dash ready. Another thing about peel out, when you drop dash, it's gonna go into a 5-second cooldown. So always try to use peel out first and then drop dash. Another thing, now when you have to get a survivor, try not to do this up close to the EXE because when you start reloading, they're going to punish you or go in this and then try to snipe you. Always, what I like doing, you decide if you do this or not. You jump, then you use peel out, and you're gonna roll. You're gonna roll and you're gonna get more distance. Another thing, do not use peel and springs. Try not to if you have to, then do it, but don't, try not to because it's gonna slow you down a lot. It's not like drop dash where you gain more distance and momentum and you can keep going. And peel out, it's gonna stop you and you can get punished for it. So watch out. So there's a new tech that's been going around lately. I don't like it. I'll show you why in a bit. But this is how you do it. Let me just show you really quick. You use peel out, and then you're gonna want to smash the drop dash button as fast as you can, and it's gonna do this. You're gonna go super fast. You can carry other survivors, and you can stun the EXE. What's wrong about this? First, you're putting both of your moves into cooldown. Second, you don't get dodge meter for drop dashing in this. And if you don't pick anyone up, instead of going 40 seconds cooldown for the peel out, it's gonna be 44. I don't like this tech. For me, it's super useless and selfish when you can just help someone with peel out once and then help them another time with drop dash. You can do it if you want. It's just not super useful, but I had to show it. Okay, this is an extra part of the video. This is a super extra part, and I'm going to show you where you have to peel out and not perfect specifically because most Sonics fall off. I'm gonna show you not to peel out in wedges like these ramps. Never peel out here. Never peel out on that one. Never peel on the platform. This is a safe one. Never peel out on the house. Let me show you. Don't peel out here. This zone, you can, but it's absolutely hard. So once you get enough control of peel out, you start doing it here. In here, don't peel out in here because these small bumps make you go up by a lot. Don't peel out down here. Don't peel out down or up. And over here in this house, don't do these ramps. Don't do this one, and absolutely do not do this one. I am able to get up and do this and then come back because I have a lot of experience using peel out. But if you're new or if you still can't control it, do not do it. Now I'm gonna show you the routes that you can in which you can safely peel out people. Okay, so the first safe, absolutely safe path that you can use is from here and then take the bridge. From the bridge, you can go all the way over there or you can go all the way down there. I'll show you now the that part. You're gonna peel out and you can safely take a survivor. You go through here, you do this, and you end up here. You go, you either take the spring or you clash against the wall, so they stop here. You do not, absolutely don't continue here because you can fall anywhere. And finally, this is the second super safe pathing that you can use for Pillar and Not Perfect. I'm in the middle. You can see you go to the right part of the map, and you can take this over here. You can take the spring. You can go over here. You can just go. You can either go up and go here, or you can jump and go over here. Like I said earlier, the spring stops your momentum, so you'd rather just keep going. And you can be acrobatic. Of course, you can be acrobatic with peel out in this map. Just don't be too risky until you become experienced. You can always peel out and do this. You can cut corners. You can go. You can jump from here down there. Just have a skill, be creative, and practice. People will not trust you and not perfect as Sonic until you prove yourself. So watch out and keep practicing. Well, now that we're done with both the moves and their tips, this is the first passive. It's called Dodge Meter or Dodge Bar. It's this little meter under your health bar. And what is it gonna do? It's gonna tank hits for you. You're not gonna take damage. So technically, Sonic has 150 health. One thing to note is that when it does the amount, when it's full, it does the amount of damage the EXE does. EXE does 42 damage per M1. This is gonna go from 50 to 8. When it has 8, it's gonna tank the full hit. It doesn't matter if it's below 42. It's gonna go from 8 to 0, and you're not gonna take any damage. How do you get dodge meter? Drop dashing. You have to hit your drop dashes. As you can see, it goes up like that. It cannot go over 50. And hit me, Mr. X. It goes down. It's 8, then hit me again, and it's 0. After 0, you're gonna get hit, so you gotta focus in recovering your dodge meter. It's super useful if you're gonna die. If you're one tap from anything, you can get dodge meter, and suddenly you can survive more than one hit. This is super useful in LMS and Rage. Okay, now for the second passive, it's called Unstoppable, and it's a passive shared with Knuckles, Tails, and well, Sonic. I talked about this one in the last guide, but in case you're not interested in Tails and you're just going for Sonic, what it's gonna do is that it makes it so Drop Dash can stack its stun on top of other stuns before the red outline or the iframes of the EXE kick in. So now Knuckles is going to punch the EXE, Mr. X. He's gonna punch and you can Drop Dash and it's gonna stack on top of that. This is super useful for getting your dodge meter back, but watch out if your dodge meter is full and someone stuns, don't go and just waste your drop dash and making the stun longer, because it's gonna give the EXE free rage and a silver platter, and you're just waiting your best mobility and stunning move.
Fear not. Here I come.
Okay, and now for the third passive. It's called Guilt. And what it does basically is that you take 50%, 15% more damage from everything, from M1s, from charge, from God's trickery. This also applies to your dodge meter. Mr. X hit me once. For some reason, it's gonna do 0 because your damage goes from 42, which is the M1 for X, up to 52. But sometimes your dodge meter will go from 50 to 4. So I don't know if that's a glitch, but sometimes it's gonna happen. In LMS, you always want to have some, because in Minister X, look at the damage you receive. It's a lot. It's a lot of damage. Why does Sonic get the guild passive in the first place? Well, you're not supposed to get LMS with Sonic. Sonic is a character that has to save people. You can tank around for 3 to 4 hits without dodge meter when you're full HP in LMS. So I'll show you now in the tips. you don't want to get LMS with Sonic. You want to save people. So this is like a punishment that you get. Now, does Sonic get buffs in LMS? Yes. Yes, he does. Remember when I talked about the cooldowns in Peel Out that when you drop dash you get a 5-second cooldown? Well, that's deleted in here. So what you can do is drop dash the EXE. You can do this, and then you can immediately peel out like this. You're always gonna get hit for your dodge meter when that happens, but you can peel out right away, and it gives you an insane amount of distance. I don't really use it that much. I prefer using peel out by spread, and I'll show you why in a bit. And the second buff that you get is that your drop dash, instead of having a 26-second cooldown, it's gonna have a 20. It's not a lot of difference, but it's still a tiny buff that has to be considered. As you can see here, it's sometimes it's 18, sometimes it appears as 20. It depends on your ping, but it's 20 as a base. And of course, you get the 65 HP heal. Like I mentioned in the Tails guide, it doesn't set your health. It adds to the amount that you have before LMS. The max is 165, and it's a heal. It doesn't set. That's for all the buffs and debuff Sonic gets in LMS. And for the final passive Sonic has, it doesn't even have a name, it doesn't show. But Sonic is actually faster than everyone else. It's not that noticeable, but it has one extra point of walk speed than everyone else. You can see in his animation that he runs a little bit faster. I mean, it makes sense. It's Sonic. So he's the one that has the most advantage when it comes to juking. Because you can jump a lot more and you can juke more in general because you're faster. Okay, now, Sonic has some unique things when it comes to reviving people. Both of your moves can make it so you can safely revive someone. The first one is a mechanic, and it's peel out. The Mr. X will down Amy over there. So what happens is that when a survivor is down on the floor, you can peel them out, and it's gonna pick them back up, like that. Now we take our safe route that I showed earlier. We get back here. And what's the second one? This one is not a mechanic, but it's something Drop Dash gives you. Since you're fast and you have iframes, Cream, Cream will get down. What you can do is drop dash and then hold time the E button. This is better in PC. You can do this and then safely revive the teammate. As you can see, I revived Cream and I'm still in drop dash. Now, for the LMS tips. First off, you gotta know that if you're playing Sonic, try not to get LMS. Look at the time. This is the longest LMS in the game, and on top of that, with the guild passive, yeah, the the song has changed 3 times now. And with the guild passive, surviving this amount of time gets super hard. This is the best map for LMS. Hill Gym, in my opinion, it's also the best map for Sonic in general because you can run around a lot. It's big. The EXE can lose you. Green Hill is good for Sonic, but it's bad for LMS because it's the smallest map in the game. And the worst map for LMS is not perfect because your peel out is super limited and you can get nuked from above. Now, for small tips, you gotta decide before the LMS kicks in. This is super dire because it's always gonna be you and a second survivor. What do? You can you gotta take the risk and you either go save the survivor, and if they die before the ring spawns and LMS kicks in, you're gonna be right besides the EXE when it starts, and you're most likely gonna have both your things on cooldown. So you gotta decide between not helping the survivor and gaining distance or helping them. If it's a new player, don't even bother. Go and get as much distance as you can. If it's a cream, same thing. And if it's an actual skilled survivor, try and help them. If it's Eggman, don't help. They're most likely going to juke their way out, and you can't even carry them. If it's Metal, don't bother. Now, if it's a skilled Knuckles, Amy, or Tails, try. Try. It depends. If they're first life, always go and try to save them, because the second life gives them a lot of extra time. But if they're second life, take the risk. Okay. Now, what if you have to make distance? You make distance. Most EXEs will use God Trickery away, but the most experienced ones will use Imbis to try and find you. What the EXs can do is most of the time they will Imbis, and if they don't find you, then they're gonna use Gut Trickery. They're wasting extra time trying to find you. Make a good spot. This is a good spot for starting LMS in this map. So watch what happens when they use God's Trickery. Mr. X, use it. You can peel out. You can peel out.
Stop moving.
You're not gonna get
Right
damage,
click.
and the EXE can catch up with you because they can't M1. They have a time after using God's Trickery in which they can M1. So for the first step, I recommend always using peel out when it's a God's Trickery. Never drop dash. Use peel out. It gives you a great advantage, and if you start the LMS like this, make it for sure you're gonna win. Now, peel out when you can't use it on God's Trickery. Just use it when the EXE completely loses you and you make sure that they're not around you, because for sure they're going to Imbis and then try to chase you after a drop dash. Same thing with peel out, but you get more time. Try using the sprinks, the spring, the spring tech that I showcased earlier. What now? What about drop dash? Drop dash with the reduced cooldown. What Sonic LMS becomes is that you depend a shit ton on juking. You're gonna have to juke, late drop dash, recover your dodge meter back, and then run away and look for 20 seconds until you get it back. Beware of charging, but to be fair, it's better to get charged than an M1. Always prefer getting charged at for that damage than get 50 damage right away from an M1.
Stand still.